So I just got done watching episode 5 of Akiba strips, and it was a very great Street Fighter episode. Um, why I say that is because basically you use a lot of footage from Street Fighter 5, and um, the the story arc basically is that shoot, I forget their names. Their names are not very memorable, but the show itself is really good. You get the main protagonist. I gotta remember his name, but anyways, um, his sister gets kidnapped basically, and through some misconceptions, he thinks that during his adventures at this arcade, that he finds this old Street Fighter 2 Turbo arcade machine. He plays it just for nostalgia, like any of us would who played those cabinets. And then there's a challenger on the other side who basically defeats him horribly. And that leads to the next event where his sister gets caught by a giant claw machine. Um, but this leads to a very strange montage of him trying to train for this Street Fighter competition, which he was signed up for so he can get his sister back, which made no sense whatsoever for a gaming gun, but it was hilarious to watch, and they had every single little thing made sense to a point, except the burning at the stake. It just made no sense whatsoever. But it was still fun just to see that. To him going to the first, like, okay, we're gonna see some Street Fighter montage of him beating some people, but no, he actually loses the first round horribly, and there's a loser's bracket that he gets entered into because of that, and through I forget I forget what the mechanic, the star mechanic is. He basically just beats everyone. He even beats the winners bracket champion and defeats him to go against the best girl right there. At that point, they get into this intense match and fight to the point where they start disrobing themselves because that's what you do when you're under pressure. You just get naked. It gets really intense. I don't know what to say at that point, Yeah. Yeah. But, for that point, it's weird, but there's also, on his point, since if he exposes himself too much, he will die. He even gets to the point where he actually loses his underwear, which is also disturbing. And I like how he does this weird tornado thing. And they do, one of the commentators do stipulate that if you can't see it, it's invisible. You can still show it. It's kind of into this very intense Street Fighter thing. I think having the mix of it was really fun. Because I do enjoy watching some really high-end Street Fighter competition, or any fighting, high-level competition of fighting games. They're really fun to watch because I know I'll never achieve that. But it's overall still fun to watch and still fun to play, like he did. And then at the end, it was like some generic evil guy did all this, and it was kind of stupid. For what it was, it had a fun montage of him training. The evil villain thing was subpar. So yeah, the only two good things about this for me was the montage of him getting prepared for that tournament, and the actual Street Fighter fighting competition parts, where they actually showed some Street Fighter. That was basically the only good parts I enjoyed. I didn't like the evil guy. Um, the the pseudo villain was alright. She was enjoyable, but didn't hate her, but she was just yeah. It was a fun episode, but it lacked a lot of things that some of the other ones would. I actually enjoyed last week's episode, the one with the magnet person. It had a little bit more depth than this one did. So I'm hoping I'm gonna see what's gonna be coming next week in a little bit, but for now, it wasn't bad. One thing I will note, it was kind of weird when he did lose his underpants. It was thrown into Mayo's face, and then we see that, and then goes back to the fight. But when we get back to her, she's like sniffing his underwear, which is really weird and perverted. And that threw me off a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, that happened too. That happened too. So, well, I'm about to see what happens next week. So until next time, thanks for watching.